So when geopolitical events just blow up the headlines, what's the first thing we all feel? It's chaos, right? You see the conflict, you hear all the noise, and that first gut instinct, it's to worry. You worry about your safety, and of course, you worry about your money.
But here's the thing, and it's something that gets totally lost in all that noise. While most of us are reacting out of fear, there's this small, strategic group of people looking at the exact same events, and they're getting insanely rich. Why? Well, their outcome is completely different because their strategy is completely different. Okay, so the big question is, how do they pull it off? I can tell you right now, it's not luck. It's definitely not magic. It's actually a repeatable playbook for turning all that chaos into a massive opportunity. And that's exactly what we're gonna break down right here, right now. All right, first up, let's talk about what I call the investor's big lie. Because look, to really get the winning strategy, you first have to understand what almost everybody else gets wrong. You know the drill. The second a crisis hits, those questions just flood your brain, don't they? Should I sell my stocks? Should I be buying gold? Oh my gosh, is the market about to crash? That sense of urgency is just overwhelming. It feels like you have to do something, and you have to do it now. And here's the tough part, the hard truth. In those very moments, a staggering 99% of people, they make the completely wrong move. Their instincts, which are just firing off because of fear, end up leading them down this super predictable and very, very costly path. So what does that path look like? Well, first, they panic sell. They dump good, solid, long-term investments and lock in their losses. Then they do one of two things. They either freeze up, totally paralyzed by fear and indecision, or they do the opposite and chase the hype. They start piling into things like oil or gold right when those prices are at their absolute peak. Let's just be really, really clear about this. Reacting to headlines, selling when things are low, and buying when they're high, that is not an investment strategy. It's just gambling. You're gambling with your financial future, and trust me, the odds are completely stacked against you. Okay, so if that's the losing play, what's the winning move? Simple. It's all about following the smart money. This is the crucial shift, where we stop looking at the chaotic headlines and start paying attention to where the capital is actually flowing. You know, this whole thing really just boils down to two different mindsets. You've got the emotional investor on one side, they're reactive, they're impulsive, and then on the other side, you have the strategic investor. This person is logical, they're patient, and they're laser focused on the real opportunities that everyone else is missing because of all the noise. And this right here, this brings us to maybe the single most important idea in this entire explainer. The market isn't crashing, money is just moving. See, capital doesn't just disappear into thin air. It rotates. It moves from one sector to another, reacting to a brand new global reality. And here's the secret. This movement isn't random at all. It follows a pattern. In fact, it brings us to what we can call the 3 phases of war for the markets, a pattern that history shows us plays out time and time again. What are those phases? Easy. Phase 1 is panic. Phase 2 is repricing. And the final, most important one is rotation. And here's the key. Understanding which phase the market is in, that tells you everything you need to know about whether to sit tight or make a move. So phase 1, panic. This is that initial shockwave, right? Fear is just off the charts. And you see everyday retail investors selling everything. But at the exact same time, what's the smart money doing? They're either waiting patiently on the sidelines or they're quietly scooping up amazing assets at a huge discount from all the people who are freaking out. All right, then comes phase 2. We call it repricing. The initial wave of fear starts to die down a bit, the market kind of finds its footing and starts to adjust to the new reality. And this is critical because this is where you start to see the first clues. The big institutions, they start to slowly, very slowly, move their money around, and that's the signal for where the real opportunities are going to pop up. And all of that, it leads us to phase 3, rotation. Folks, this is the main event. This is where the real wealth is made. And it's not made by reacting to the panic. It's made by strategically understanding where the big money is flowing for the long haul. So you're probably wondering, where does that money actually go? Well, it's almost never into those obvious war stocks that have already shot through the roof. Nope. It flows into what we call the hidden beneficiaries. We're talking about companies building crucial energy infrastructure, to make sure countries are independent, or the firms that are signing these massive 10-year defense contracts for long-term security. And yeah, the tech companies powering the whole supply chain and the next wave of AI and drone technology. Okay, so having the playbook is great, but let's be honest, it's pretty useless if you don't have the right mindset to go with it. So that brings us to our final piece here: how to develop that strategic mindset, and most importantly, how to avoid the single biggest trap that catches, well, pretty much everyone. If you just look back at history, it shows you exactly why patience is so important. Think about the Gulf War, or the initial shock when the Russia-Ukraine war started. Sure, the markets took a dip, but here's the thing: they didn't break. They always recovered. The real takeaway here is that these major events, they create temporary dips, not permanent destruction. And for a strategic investor, well, a dip just spells opportunity. And here it is, the biggest trap of all. It's that feeling you get when you see oil or gold or some defense stock just skyrocketing, and you feel this intense pressure, this FOMO, to buy in right at the very top. That's what buying into peak hype and peak fear looks like. And let me tell you, it is almost always a losing move. So, what's the winning strategy you can actually use? Think of it like a simple checklist. Number 1, don't panic sell. Number 2, don't chase the hype. Number 3, hold on to your strong, solid assets. Number 4, study where the money is actually flowing, not what the headlines are screaming about. And maybe most important of all, be patient. Just wait for things to become clear before you make your move. There's this saying that just perfectly sums all of this up. In the markets, especially during a crisis, wealth isn't transferred to the smartest person in the room or even the luckiest. It's transferred from the people who act on emotion to the people who act with patience in a clear, logical strategy. So here's the bottom line. The next time the world feels like it's spinning out of control and the markets are going wild, you're going to be faced with a very clear choice. Are you going to get swept up in all the noise and all the emotion, or are you going to calmly and logically follow the money? Because I promise you, the path you choose will make all the difference in the world.